Join ForumIAS Academy, trusted by hundreds of toppers, including IAS Rank 1 Shruti Sharma.
Good evening, aspirants. Welcome to the Hindu News Analysis discussion brought to you by ForumIAS for the date 26th Feb 2023. So for today, we will be covering 5 topics from agriculture, governance, science and technology, as well as a topic from economics. So the list of topics for today's discussion is given here for your reference. You can have a look at it. Now, with this straight away, let us move to the first topic. Strawberry farming making waves in tribal land of Odisha. This article is regarding the strawberry cultivation in the state of Odisha, and this article highlights that strawberry cultivation has been promoted by the government in the region of Odisha to ensure livelihood of the tribes living in the region, and especially the PVTGs, that is persons belonging to the particularly vulnerable tribal groups, are getting benefited through the strawberry cultivation. See, from this article, let us know about the PVTGs and strawberry cultivation from prelims angle. First is particularly vulnerable tribal groups. See, PVTGs are the marginalized sections of scheduled tribes of India. That is, they are the most deprived sections within the ST communities. If we take the characteristics of the PVTGs, they are section who are relatively isolated, educationally and socially backward, as well as living in a habitat that is far away from the basic amenities. And know that PVTGs is not a constitutional category, nor they are constitutionally recognized communities. That is, unlike scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, OBCs and EWS, there is no category called PVTGs that is mentioned in the Constitution of India. This category is classified by the Government of India, and it is created with the purpose of improving the conditions of certain ST communities whose development are way lower than the average level. Now let us see the criteria that is used to specify a ST community under PVTG's category. The criteria followed are: firstly, tribals with a pre-agriculture level of technology. Second, the tribal groups whose population are stagnant or declining. Third factor is the low literacy rate among the scheduled tribe. Fourth point is the low subsistence level of economy. So these are the four criteria that are used for determining the PVTGs within ST community. If we take the history of PVTGs, in accordance with the constitutional provisions in clause 1 of article 342, the notification of STs are state specific, and their identification is done on the basis of following characteristics like primitive traits, distinctive culture, geographical isolation, shyness with contact with the rest of the communities. But however, in 1960, the Debar Commission and other studies suggested that there exists inequality among the tribal communities itself. So, tribal communities as a whole are not homogeneous entity. Rather, there is a difference in the level of development within them. So in 1975, based on the Debar Commission report, the government created primitive tribal groups. And this group was a separate category, and they identify nearly 52 such groups within the scheduled tribe community. Later on in 1993, 23 more scheduled tribes were added to the primitive tribal group section. And by the year 2006, the Government of India renamed the PTGs as particularly vulnerable tribal groups. So as of now, there are 75 PVTGs in India. Among the 75 listed PVTGs, the highest number is in the state of Odisha, followed by Andhra Pradesh. The state-wise list of primitive vulnerable tribal groups are given here. You can have a look at it. So that is all about the PVTGs. Let us see about strawberry cultivation. See, strawberry cultivation is gaining momentum as it yields good profit to the farmers. Know that in recent years, strawberry has emerged as a cash crop even in the Kashmir Valley, as many farmers are switching to strawberry cultivation. Know that strawberry is a native of temperate region, but varieties are available which can be cultivated even in subtropical climate regions. To be specific, It can be cultivated in tropical as well as in subtropical areas around the year with optimum day temperature of 22 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius and night temperature ranging between 7 degree to 13 degrees Celsius. But a cold climate, frost as well as winter climate seriously affects the strawberry yield. If we take the soil conditions, strawberry can be grown on any type of soil, but the best is sandy loam soil and very light soil with a pH of 5.7 to 6.5. Frequent irrigation is needed for strawberry cultivation, but strawberry should not be grown continuously on the same land and on the land previously used for cultivation of potato, tomato, vegetables. This is all about the climate and soil requirements of strawberry. In India, it is generally cultivated in hills. Its main center of cultivation are Nainital, Dehradun, Mahabaleshwar, Kashmir Valley, Bangalore, as well as in Kalimpong, and now even in plateau regions located in Odisha. Also know that the Satara district, which is present in Maharashtra, is famous as it accounts for country's 80% of strawberry production. The fruit is grown mainly in Mahabaleshwar, Panchagani areas of Maharashtra. The rest comes from Himachal Pradesh and Jammu and Kashmir. Know that strawberries are grown throughout Europe and in every state of United States as well as in Canada and South America. Also, strawberry is rich in vitamin C as well as in iron, while some varieties like Olympus Hood has high flavor and bright red color that are suitable for ice cream making. Know that as per the 2019 data, China is the largest strawberry producer in the world, followed by the United States of America. And know that China and United States of America produce together 57% of world's total. So this is all about the strawberry cultivation. So in this article, we saw about PBTGs as well as about strawberry cultivation in prelims angle. So with this, let us complete this topic and move to the next one. Second topic, pleas against ED chief term extension personnel, says government. See, we have to know that Mr. Sanjay K. Mishra is the current director of the Enforcement Directorate and his tenure was extended 3 times in a row. Last year end only, his tenure got extended by a year. So as of now, he will be in the office till November 18th of 2023. Because of this continuous extension of tenure by the Union Government of India, the opposition parties have approached the court challenging the government decision. So in this line, let us know about the Enforcement Directorate from prelims angle as well as from mains perspective. See, Enforcement Directorate is a specialized financial investigation agency. This agency works under the Department of Revenue, which is functioning under Ministry of Finance. Know that its headquarters is at New Delhi, which is headed by the Director of Enforcement. Now, if we take the history of it, got originated on May 1956 as an enforcement unit in the Department of Economic Affairs. At that time, it was formed for handling the exchange control laws. That is like enforcement unit dealt with cases that violated Foreign Exchange Regulation Act of 1947. By the year 1957, this unit was renamed as Enforcement Directorate. Know that in the year 1960, the administrative control of Directorate was transferred from Department of Economic Affairs to Department of Revenue. And the mandate given to ED is to enforce the provision of Foreign Exchange Management Act as well as the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Now coming to the structure of ED, see, the Directorate of Enforcement with its headquarters at New Delhi is headed by the Director of Enforcement. And in addition to it, there are 5 regional offices. They are located at Mumbai, Chennai, Chandigarh, Kolkata as well as in Delhi. These regional offices are headed by special directors of enforcement. If we take recruitment, the recruitment of officers is done directly and by drawing officers from other investigation departments. That is, the personnel from ED comprises officers of Indian Revenue Services, Indian Police Services, Indian Administrative Services background, such as income tax officers, excise officers, even sometimes police personnel are recruited for Enforcement Directorate. Coming to the tenure, in November 2021, the President of India promulgated 2 ordinances. Through this ordinance, the center got the power to extend the tenure of directors of CBI as well as director of enforcement, director of ED from 2 years to up to 5 years. Likewise, the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act of 1946 was amended, which empowered the government to keep the chief of ED in the post for 1 year at a time. By this way, the chiefs of central agencies who currently had fixed 2-year tenure will now be given additionally 3 annual extensions. So totally the director of ED can be in office for a period of 5 years now. But know that no further extension can be granted after the completion of a period of 5 years in total. Now let us know how ED functions under Prevention of Money Laundering Act. See, the ED has the power to carry out search as well as seizure of property and documents after it had concluded that the money has been laundered. For this, it uses the power under several sections of Prevention of Money Laundering Act. On the basis of that, the authorities decide if arrest is needed as per the PMLA Act. And know that under Section 50 of the PMLA Act, the ED can also directly carry out search and seizure without calling the persons for questioning. So it is not necessary to summon the person first and then start with the search and seizure of property. If the person is arrested, the ED gets 60 days to file charge sheet and then continue with the prosecution of complaints. And know that the prosecution complaint along with the attachment order will be submitted before the adjudicating authority within 60 days. If we take the ED's jurisdiction, since both FEMA as well as the Prevention of Money Laundering Act apply to whole of India, the ED can take actions against any person on which this act applies. Also, ED has jurisdiction over a person or any other legal entity who commits a crime. Importantly, all the public servants come under the jurisdiction of ED if they are involved in any offense related to money laundering. So, corruption in public life will be countered using the Enforcement Directorate institution. However, ED cannot take suo motu actions. Someone has to complain to any other agency or police first, and then only ED will investigate the matter and will identify the accused. So these facts are enough from prelims angle. Let us know the challenges that are faced by ED from mains perspective. Firstly, the critics say that the government has been using the foreign funding law as a tool to silence its critics. And in addition to it, it also targets non-governmental groups that have raised concerns about social cost of India's rapid economic development. Secondly, conviction of cases. Under PMLA, the agency has conducted over 1,700 raids between the year of 2011 to 2020. In the same period though, the ED has managed to secure conviction only in 9 cases. Thirdly, ED has insufficient manpower. Through various stories, anonymous ED sources have complained about insufficient manpower. Because of this, there is difficulty in establishing evidence of a proper money trial and leads to poor litigation strategies. Fourthly, it is regarding the question of independence and misuse. Critics of ED are calling it a tool of political intimidation because of ED's administrative control by a ministry. Fifthly, ED lacks jurisdiction if the convict is out of India. See, ED's power to investigate or arrest the convict at present is limited within the territory of India. And lastly, the funding is inadequate. The power and the responsibility of ED requires adequate financing, but the previous budgetary allocations are inadequate with respect to the function of ED. So this is all about the negative sides which needs to be addressed. So with this, let us close this topic and move to the third topic for the day. JWST reveals galaxies formed 500 million years ago after the Big Bang. According to the recent news, massive galaxies that formed around 500 to 700 million years after the Big Bang explosion were observed using the James Webb Space Telescope. So from this article, let us know about the James Webb Space Telescope from prelims angle. See, it is named after a former NASA administrator named James Webb, who was one of the architects of the Apollo moon landings. The James Webb Space Telescope was launched on an Ariane 5 rocket in the year 2021. See, it is a large infrared telescope with an approximately 6.5 meter primary mirror. These mirrors are made of ultra lightweight beryllium. Know that it is currently at a point in a space which is known as L2 Lagrange point. This L2 Lagrange point is approximately 1.5 million kilometers beyond Earth's orbit, and this point is located between the Sun and the Earth. The Lagrange point 2 is one of the 5 points in the orbital plane of Earth-Sun system. See, the space telescope is designed to study the earliest stars in the universe and other cosmic mysteries. Know that it will study every phase in the history of our universe, ranging from the first luminous glows after the Big Bang to the formation of solar systems capable of supporting lives on planet like Earth to the evolution of our solar system itself. By this way, this will help researchers to know whether there are other worlds in any way habitable to the humans. Know that the James Webb Space Telescope is an international collaboration between NASA, European Space Agency, and the Canadian Space Agency. As of now, it is the largest and the most powerful infrared space telescope ever built by NASA. And be clear that it is the successor to Hubble telescope. But the difference is that Hubble's work involved watching the ultraviolet and the visible spectrum of light. But in James Webb Space Telescope, observation of space will be done through infrared radiations, most primarily covering 0.6 to 28 microns. Other differences regarding the orbital rotation. Hubble telescope orbits the Earth at an altitude of 575 kilometers. But Webb Space Telescope would not be orbiting the Earth. Rather, it would be orbiting the Sun from 1.5 million kilometers away from the Earth. And moreover, Webb's near and mid-infrared instruments would be helpful in studying the first formed galaxies and exoplanets. Now, if we take the objectives, it can be grouped into 4 themes. Primary goal is to see the first stars and galaxies formed in the early stage of the universe. This enables to look back around 13.5 billion years and discover knowledge regarding the birth of celestial bodies. Secondly, it helps to know how galaxies assemble over billions of years. This can be done by comparing the faintest, earliest galaxies to today's grand spirals. Third, to see where stars and planetary systems are being born. Fourthly, to observe the atmospheres of extrasolar planets. That is, the James Webb Space Telescope helps to observe the atmosphere of planets that are beyond our solar system. By this way, this telescope helps us to find the building blocks of life elsewhere in the universe. So this is all about the James Webb Space Telescope. In this discussion, we also saw a few points about Hubble telescope. So with this, let us complete it and move to the next topic for the day. Fourth topic, who will benefit from the UPI Pay Now link? See, before getting into the topic, let us know about UPI and NPCI in brief for better understanding of the article. First is about Unified Payment Interface. See, the term interface means a connection between 2 points or device. Unified Payment Interface means a medium that connects various bank accounts in a unified mobile application and thereby creating a network between them. To be precise, Unified Payment Interface is a popular mobile payment method that allows you to transfer funds from one bank account to the other. And this is done instantly and free of cost. Ever since its introduction, that is from period 2016, UPI has made financial transaction much easier for account holders. Also know that through this UPI, multiple bank accounts are connected to a single mobile application. Most of you might be familiar with the way how Google Pay works, right? We can have multiple bank accounts with the same mobile number and use a particular bank account while we transfer or receive funds. Hence, we can say UPI helps in merging several banking features and also provides seamless fund routing and merchant payments into one hood. It also caters to the peer-to-peer collect request, which can be scheduled and paid as per the requirement and convenience. The uniqueness about UPI is that it ensures immediate money transfer through mobile devices round the clock. That is, UPI can provide service 24/7 and for all 365 days. As said earlier, it is a single mobile application for accessing different bank accounts. Thirdly, it is a single-click two-factor authentication, which is aligned with regulatory guidelines. Hence, it is user-friendly and at the same time provides protection from misuse of the application. Fourthly, the customers are not required to enter the details such as card number, IFSC number or their account numbers. So only virtual address of the customers are used, which can be an incremental security. Next is the use of QR codes. The use of QR codes for money transfer makes the process smooth and easy. Next is that it facilitates utility bill payments such as electricity bill payments, property tax payments, also over the counter payments, and even donations, collections as well as disbursements can be done through UPI based apps where the data regarding the money transfer also stored to ensure transparency. Finally, it allows consumers to raise complaints from the mobile app. So that is all about the UPI. Now coming to the National Payment Corporation of India, see, NPCI is an umbrella organization for operating retail payments and settlement systems in India. Know that it is an initiative of Reserve Bank of India and Indian Banks Association. Also, it was established under the provision of Payment and Settlement Systems Act of 2007. The purpose was for creating a robust payment and settlement infrastructure in India. And know that this NPCI has been incorporated as not-for-profit company under the provisions of Companies Act. There are 10 core promoter banks for NPCI, some of which are like State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, Bank of Baroda and many more like that. Now, we have discussed about NPCI because UPI itself is a product of NPCI only. That is, UPI was created by the institution named NPCI. This NPCI has also produced systems like National Financial Switch, Bharat Bill Payment Systems, Aadhaar enabled payment systems, etc. Now coming to the news article, it reports that a cross-border person-to-person payment facilities have been launched recently. Till now we saw about products of the NPCI, right? They all initially facilitated person-to-person fund transfer within India only. But now the government has gone one step further to enhance transfer of funds crossing the Indian border. So as per the news, real-time payment linkage got established between India's Unified Payment Interface and Singapore's Pay Now payment system. Know that this plan was first announced by the RBI and the Monetary Authority of Singapore in the September month of 2021 itself. And so by this way, both the countries are setting up digital infrastructure to facilitate instant low-cost cross-border fund transfer. So now we use the RTPL system for a cross-border interoperability of payments using cards and QR codes between India and Singapore. This would further increase the trade, travel and remittance flows between the two countries. Know that under this system, few Indian banks have listed who can integrate this system with their banking function. So account holders of these listed banks can transfer fund to and from India using their UPI ID, mobile number or virtual payment address. And know that the real-time payment linkage allows fund transfer 24/7 and for all 365 days a year. This is why we call it as real-time payment linkage. By this way, both the countries have simplified the process of fund transfer and communication between the payer and the payee. So this is what it is said in the news article. So in this topic discussion, we dealt with UPI as well as NPCI. So let us complete this topic here and let us move to the final topic of the day. Coming to the final topic of the day, IMF FSB to flesh out global crypto rules. See, recently the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that we need an international cooperation in regulating the cryptocurrencies. So through that opinion, India has called on the G20 countries to develop a common regulatory framework to monitor cryptocurrency assets across the countries. Last year and all, we heard a news that RBI wants to ban the use of cryptocurrency outrightly. But now we can see a change in the government's stand with regard to cryptocurrency as many countries started adopting and regulating it. But however, India says that instead of regulating the cryptocurrency at country level, we can opt for international cooperation in regulating it. So for that, Finance Minister of India has asked the Finance Stability Board and the IMF to formulate a technical paper for a coordinated global approach in regulation of crypto assets. So from this article, let us know about the cryptocurrencies and IMF in brief. First is cryptocurrency. See, a cryptocurrency is a virtual currency that is used for financial transactions. Know that it uses blockchain technology for various transactions. In addition to it, this cryptocurrency is an asset that allows people to keep their money outside formal financial system, and it is easily accessible, by which it can be used anywhere in the world. If we take the benefits of cryptocurrency, know that cryptocurrencies are getting popular because of their underlying technology of blockchain and due to some of the inherent advantages. Like, firstly, the transaction in cryptocurrencies are faster and require less or no additional transaction cost. Secondly, the crypto also doesn't require any middlemen like traditional fiat currency transactions, which need banks to carry transaction. Thirdly, each cryptocurrency transaction is a unique exchange between two parties. Thereby, it protects the parties from issues like identity theft. Hence, privacy is maintained here. Fourth point is regarding the financial inclusion. See, more people now have access to internet than banks or other currency exchange systems. Since the cryptocurrency is transferred through a digital medium, the use of it opens the opportunity for reaching out to unbanked population of the world. Finally, the international transactions usually have to be done with currency exchanges that involve third party. But cryptocurrencies allows two parties to transact without requiring any third party or added fees. And the dollar domination in international trade could also be reduced by favoring currency stability for many countries. In spite of these benefits, earlier the RBI had issued a circular prohibiting use of these virtual currencies. But then the Supreme Court intervened and lifted the ban imposed by the RBI on virtual currencies, including cryptocurrencies. So that is all about the cryptocurrencies. Now let us know about IMF in brief. See, IMF is an institution that was established in the year 1944, aftermath of Great Depression of the 1930s. There were 44 countries during its inception that are called as founding member countries. These countries came forward to build a framework for international economic cooperation. Hence, IMF is an international financial institution that is headquartered in the Washington, D.C., that is in USA. This institution works to strengthen global monetary cooperation. As of now, it consists of 190 countries, and if we take the objectives of IMF, the IMF provides loans, including emergency loans, to member countries that are affected by balance of payment crisis. So we can say the aim of IMF is to help the financially poor countries to rebuild their international reserves and as well as stabilize their currencies. Through this way, IMF helps the debtor countries to continue paying for imports and restore conditions for strong economic growth. Hence, the overall economic stability of developing and underdeveloped countries are protected by this IMF institution. That is enough regarding the IMF. With this, let us close our topic discussion and move to prelims and mains question discussion session. Coming to the prelims question discussion, first question, with reference to Enforcement Directorate, consider the following statement. Statement 1. It is mandated with the task of enforcing the provisions of Foreign Exchange Management Act and Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Second statement, it is a statutory body. Third statement, like CBI, the Enforcement Directorate can also register a case on its own. Which of the following given above is or are correct? Options given are option A, 1 only, option B, 2 only, option C, 3 only, option D, 1 and 3 only. The correct answer is asked here. We saw in our discussion, right? The Enforcement Directorate does not have a suo motu power in registering the case. So this is the false statement. So if we remove statement 3 itself, we will get the correct answer for this question. So the answer for this question is option A, 1 only. And in our discussion, we saw that Enforcement Directorate is not a statutory body. It is just an agency which functions under Ministry of Finance. And if you take the first statement, this is right because it is mandated. Its primary purpose was to enforce the provision of FEMA and Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So 2 and 3 statements 2 and 3 are wrong. First statement alone is correct. The answer for this question is option A, 1 only. Now moving to the second question. Consider the following statements. Statement 1. National Payment Corporation of India helps in promoting the financial inclusion in the country. Second, the National Payment Corporation of India has launched RuPay, a card payment system. Which of the following statements given above is or are correct? The options given are option A, 1 only, option B, 2 only, option C, both 1 and 2, option D, neither 1 nor 2. This is a direct fact-based question. The correct answer for this question is option C, both 1 and 2. See, we saw right in our discussion, NPCI is a umbrella organization that is established for operating retail payments and settlement systems in India. And its aim is to create robust payment and settlement infrastructure. So, promoting financial inclusion is also one of its objective. And know that this RuPay is an indigenously developed payment system which is designed to meet the expectations and needs of the Indian consumers, banks as well as merchant ecosystem. By this way, RuPay supports the issuance of debit, credit and prepaid cards by banks in India, thereby supporting retail electronic payments. So this is also correct. The answer for this question is option C, both 1 and 2. Mains question: what is blockchain technology? Discuss its advantages and potential applications along with its demerits. So aspirants can take note of this question. You can write the answers and post it in the comment section below. So with this, we have come to the end of this news articles and question based discussion. With this, let us wind up the session. If you can understand the concepts well and if you like the way I teach, please like, comment, share and subscribe to ForumIAS. Thank you.